Wait, is my mic on?
Guys, are we really doing this?
Ah, fuck it. Let's just start. Hey guys, welcome back to this week's episode of Sipping Through Life. It's your girl Deani, and I am here with none other than Gabby and Megan. How y'all doing?
Hello, friends.
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm
I'm gonna
good.
be honest, I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. I'm so hungover, so I'm just powering through this right now.
Well, before we get into why you're hungover, should we let the listeners know what our sip of the week is first?
Oh, yes, we should. I made this amazing homemade cider recipe for the girls, and
So good.
it's such
Absolutely
a
delicious.
good fall drink, and it's so easy too. It's literally just like apple cider, put it on a pot, throw in some like oranges, and oh shit, I'm completely blanking on the recipe, but it's like just
I think you put cinnamon sticks in
and
it.
clove, and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it's like so easy.
A blood orange.
Oh yes, a blood orange. And there you go.
You're welcome.
And then you can
Oh.
add some rum if you need it. It's really good.
I mean,
It
some
was-
people do.
Some people
Yeah,
like me.
I mean, I didn't have it with rum, but I mean, without rum, guys, it was absolutely delicious. But moving forward, Megan,
Yes.
happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yes, woot woot. You're the old lady in the
I
group,
know.
26.
I am. I'm officially
How's it
old.
feel?
Exhausted.
4 years from 30.
Okay. Okay. Settle
Crazy.
down.
Wow. So close.
So close. No, I feel the same. I feel so young. I feel 25,
Oh.
but I'm 26 now.
What'd you do to celebrate?
We had a lot of fun. Noah took me to my favorite winery, and it ended up being closed, so you could just buy wine. But then we went to like this winery that was like kind of nearby, and we just sat outside and we drank. And then we went to this like little brewery place in Manassas, and we met up with a couple of our friends, and we continued to drink. Then we went to my mom's house and we did like a little bonfire and like a little birthday party with my family. And continued to drink and play Pong. And, yeah, it was a good birthday party, though. It was nice.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
It sounds like a hangover to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like you were begging for one, to be honest.
I know.
But
I didn't even feel like I drank that much. And then, like, I woke up around, like, 3 a.m., you know, when you wake over kind of like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I messed up. Like,
Yeah.
I fucked up.
You're like, I need the Advil now.
Yeah. And, like, I'm not going to lie, it was not smart of me to mix all the pills I've been on for my wisdom teeth. And it just like kind of was like a recipe for like a disaster.
Just pill popping and drinking. What a great birthday.
And there's no other way to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like you got to
Yeah.
go big for your 26. But no, it was really nice. And I'm glad we guys got to celebrate too on Monday. That was so fun. And we watched,
Yeah.
watched Hocus
That was fun.
Pocus, and it was the best.
Yeah.
That was creepy. I have to be honest, I don't think I have watched that in over 20 years.
Then you're better for it now.
Yes, but I don't like the word creepy.
I get scared really easily.
But it's
And
a
it was-
lovely, just
It's a child's
great.
movie.
Okay, Megan, you know what else is a child's movie? Don't Look Under Your Bed with
Oh,
airing
fuck.
on Disney Channel, and it's freaking terrifying.
It's true. Okay. I hate that movie so much.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Well,
it.
side note though, have you guys seen Goosebumps? Like the new Goosebumps?
No.
Oh, no. I saw the old
Okay.
school one.
The old ones. Check out the newer ones. They're actually really good movies, but they're kids' movies. But while you're watching it, you're kind of like, this is a little petrifying. Like, I don't know how some kids could sit here and enjoy it. Like, it's very intense for a kids' movie, I think.
Yeah.
The
But
old ones used
It's
to
cute,
freak me
though, at the
out.
same time.
And
Oh, those were
so,
scary.
Like, I don't even want to know what the new ones are like. I really think that it's like those movies like Hocus Pocus, Don't Look Under Your Bed. Like, that's the reason why I'm afraid of scary movies.
Me too. But like, I'll just stick to Halloween Town.
Oh, okay.
Classic Halloween
Yeah.
Town.
See, I think the one movie, those weren't the movies that did it for me. It was, I think, you guys were there actually. Like, I was like my 13th birthday or something, and whenever I had the movie theater theme.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that?
What did we watch?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
I do
think
remember that.
we tried, someone wanted to watch Saw.
Oh,
I don't do
no.
gory. I don't like
Yes.
that. Nothing. Someone wanted to watch it, but that was whenever my parents like snuck down and were like banging on the windows.
Oh
while we
my
were watching.
god.
I
Yeah.
remember this.
And then they woke us up in the morning to a chainsaw
Yes.
going off.
Yes,
That
I
was,
remember
like,
this.
Traumatizing.
Terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's moments like that growing up, like watching those movies. I can't do it now. A Haunting in
Yeah.
Connecticut, I got through the first 10 minutes and I was like, I can't do this.
No, I don't watch scary movies.
Like,
I don't find them enjoyable. I don't understand the appeal.
You know what's funny, Gabby? Also about your talking about your movie theater theme, that reminds me the first time I watched The Hangover was at your house.
Was it?
Aw.
Yes. And now Megan has a hangover.
Okay.
Oh,
Full
look at
circle.
that.
Okay.
Full circle.
Full circles. Yeah.
That was good.
But thank you. But guys, we got our first like suggestion topic to discuss, and the topic is all about friendship, and basically it's like a two-parter. So the first part is the secret to a long-lasting friendship, and I just feel like that's such a good topic because like we've been friends for what
A
is it,
long
12,
time,
12
yeah.
years, 13 years? So that's a long time.
Ugh.
That's a long time. And so, who wants to start? What do you guys think the secret is to a long-lasting friendship?
Well, first, I like just can't believe like someone asked us to like talk about
I know,
something.
right?
So like, thank you so much. It's so exciting. We made it.
Shouts
we made
out
it.
T.
Yeah, shouts out T. Man, what is the secret to a long-lasting friendship?
I think honesty.
Yeah.
Oh, I am all
yes.
about this subject.
Me
I
too.
think honesty. You guys know I'm very blunt in
Yeah, you
general.
are, yeah.
Like I think that's one thing that you can be blunt and respectful. But like you have to compliment each other.
Yeah.
And I think you do have to have some of the same like priorities in a sense,
Yes.
or same goals, like morals. Like I think it's everything that people talk about. But I don't know. I think that's it for me. It's like you guys do have like the same goals as I do in a sense. Like we all treat people the way we want to be treated. Like, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think those are all important.
No, I agree. I also think like it's
Yeah.
really important to like understand that with a relationship, whether it's friendships or like love interest, like for friendship especially, it's gonna change, and I think you have to be comfortable with the change that comes with it, because I've known you guys since freaking elementary school, middle
Yeah,
school
right.
with you, Deani. It's like I'm
Yeah.
always evolving, and that doesn't mean I'm personally changing, just my life is changing. So being able to stay connected even though we all have such different lives going on, I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of friendships fall apart, because you can't just like go out and get fucked up every Friday night or hang out every night like how you used to in high school. It's just like you change with time, and I think
With
that's
time,
sometimes
yeah.
why
Yeah.
friendships fall apart, because some people aren't willing to like change with, I don't know, your life.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is gonna sound like so bitchy, but when you're like, I think that you need to be picky when you're picking your friends, if that makes sense. So I think that there are people out there who just want to be friends with everyone. And I feel like the word friend has like such a big weight associated with it in like my mind. Like it's cool to have a bunch of acquaintances, cool, but like when you're somebody's friend, like you need to pick someone who like obviously you can laugh with, joke with, like goof around with, but like when shit gets real, like they're going to be there for you, and they're not gonna like only hang out with you when things are good. Like
Yeah.
I know that if I'm like really depressed or having a hard time or whatever, like you guys will still like be there for me and like check in on me and like want to pick me up when I fall down, or like you guys support my dreams and my goals. And if you're just like friends with everybody, you're not always going to find people. You're going to find like superficial friendships, if that makes sense. Like they're not going to be deep.
And
Yeah.
you're limiting how much you can give yourself to people.
Yeah.
And if you're not being genuine and sincere in how much you're giving, like to me, it's a waste of time for both people.
Yeah. I agree.
Exactly.
You know?
I just think it's like a lot of communication too.
Oh yeah. And and it goes back to just like I said, the honesty. Like there's gonna be things people like you guys probably won't like what I say, or vice versa, like
Yeah.
whatever it may be. But I don't know. Again, I think it goes back to how we just are respectful with each other. That it's like it's how it comes out,
Yeah.
you know. And you, Deani, you made this like you said this to me. I think like 2-3 years ago when we were just talking about stuff in general, like because this topic is very heavy for me, just in the sense of
Yeah.
like with friends, and then I've been having, to learn with stuff with like family too, and how just a healthy relationship and friendship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you made the comment about seasons, like how you have people in your life. Okay, you can say the quote exactly. I don't know what it was, but it sticks with me now that it's like, that's how I look at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Like-
it's basically that like God puts people in your life for a reason, and sometimes it's only a season, and like people try to like hold on to relationships that have changed, and like they're not growing from the relationship any longer,
Yes.
and they're just like, oh, I just want things to be the way that they used to be, and it's like the way that things used to be is not like sustainable.
You literally took the words right out of my mouth right there.
Love that.
But I'm just gonna add, I think when you hear like friendships are like over, there's like supposed to be like some scandal that goes with it, or like, oh my god, what'd you guys fight about? And it's like, no, sometimes people just drift apart and there's no rhyme or reason
Yeah.
to it. And I don't have any animosity towards that person. It's just like their chapter is closed in my life, and like vice versa.
And I think that happened for us though.
Yeah.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, we were so close in middle and high
Yeah.
school, and then
Yeah.
we graduated high school, and we all went our separate ways. We all had stuff going on with us. And it was like 4 or 5 years
Yes.
later when the girls were born that it was
Yeah.
like we all reconnected. Like, truly, like, hanging out, and then obviously starting the podcast. Like, it's not that we didn't hate each
No.
other. We just had
No.
other stuff going on.
I mean, we're the true
And-
definition of what it means to reconnect with old friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't much of a choice with Megan, but I mean,
For package deal. 2 for 1.
I was gonna say that oh crap, what was it? Oh, so like Gabby said, like we had all gone our separate ways like for about 4 or 5 years. Like there wasn't any hard feelings or anything like that, but I do think that for a friendship to like really grow and to be sustainable, I think that it's important that you do give each other space.
Yes.
Just because I feel like when you're like around somebody like 24/7 all the time, it is easy to get like frustrated and annoyed. And it's like the smallest things can end up like growing into this like big thing that it doesn't need to be. And so I
yeah.
feel like the fact that like we had space for 4 or 5 years, that sounds so bad. But the
we
fact
just
that
dealt
we
with
had-
each other for way too long, and it was like, see you guys, and
Yeah. But the fact that
half
we
a
had space
decade.
for like 4 or 5 years, like really allowed us to like grow into who we were. And it helped us to like realize that we weren't just friends because we saw each other every single day in
Yes.
high school. Like there was something deeper in our relationship that allowed us to just pick up where we left off.
Agree.
yeah.
I think a lot of problems for me personally when it comes to like friendships is that I think sometimes people put too much expectation on friends, in that if you don't text me back, if you don't call me every day, then you're not like a person in my life. And I think that's actually very toxic.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
And I think like it kind of like, I personally like to set up like healthy boundaries. Like if I don't answer you or we don't talk like for a couple weeks, that has nothing to do with you. And like I understand where they could be coming from, like, oh, she doesn't want to talk to me, but it's like, if you're in my life, you know why you're in my life, and like I'm not ignoring you for that reason. I'm just busy, but like I'm still thinking about you day to day. I just feel like sometimes friendships can get messy when, I don't know, like there's just too much expectation or too much like pressure to like keep up with it. I don't know if that makes any
Right.
sense, but
I know, I completely agree. I think
because you feel guilty
especially being
if you don't do
Yeah.
it, and then it's like the friendship becomes a burden.
Yeah. And being a mom, and like I said, I think you two are with some others, but you two have been so understanding that it's like life isn't easy, or social life isn't easy when it comes to the
Yeah.
girls. Like it is a lot of rescheduling. It is a lot of, around the girls' schedule, and I appreciate that. But I think there are some friends that I've had in the past, more college friends in a sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Whenever I was, single, and whenever I didn't have Rylan, like, it's not that they we're angry at each other, that we don't hang out, all this and that, but I think they didn't understand it as much as you guys did, and some others, like, and I think but at the same time, they respected the fact that they didn't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going back to, like, what you're saying, like, sometimes it just it's not the season, but, like, what Megan was just saying, like, if you can't put it, I'm going all over the place.
It's like hard to like describe it because it sounds like being a shitty friend if you're not talking to them every day.
Right.
But it's also like it's
Exactly.
unhealthy in a way for them and for myself to rely on someone so heavily.
Exactly. But it's not even like we stop talking on bad terms. Like, I don't want anyone thinking like, I mean, especially any college friends thinking, oh, is she talking about me, this, that? No, like,
No.
I wish nothing but the best for everyone, but I just think there's certain people in your life that will have an understanding when you're going through it. And I'm learning that a lot with just friendships, especially, is that at this point in my life with my kids, like, I know who is being genuine about wanting to spend time with them, and it's not just for a post.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
get
It's not just for them to say, oh yes, I'm friends with her. Like, because I think that was really hard. Like, I've told you guys in the past, in the beginning when I first found out I was pregnant, there was a lot of people coming out from from different corners, if you know what I mean. Like, some were, I think, completely genuine, like, congratulate, but some that I'm like, I never spoke to you. Never.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even think you liked me, to be honest. But
I remember where I was when I like heard that you were pregnant with twins. I was in the movie theater and Brianna was sitting next to me and she was like, oh my gosh, Gabby's pregnant. And this was like, I obviously had seen you at my graduation party after college, but like I hadn't spoken to you in a while. And when I reached out to you, I was like, oh gosh, like I don't even know if this is her number anymore. Like this is going to seem so weird that I'm like reaching out. But like, I think that, like you said, it just
obviously
it
yours
shows...
was genuine. I
Yeah.
know it was sincere. I know it wasn't just like,
Oh my god, this big news.
hey,
Like
yeah, baby, let me be a part of
Yeah.
it. Like, yeah.
I know.
But also, I think that when you were talking about, like, I think when you see your friends becoming parents, there are two ways that people go. There are some ways where people, like, almost get jealous of not being prioritized anymore. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other way where, like, Megan and I are like, yo, listen, like, Gabby, obviously you need self-care, but, like, your kids and your family is your priority at the end of the day. And, like, I should not be coming before them in any way, shape, or form. But it's like the people who get upset and who are like, oh, well, like ever since you became a mom or ever since you got a boyfriend or ever since whatever, people are like, I'm no longer a priority. And it's like, well, it's not that I don't value our friendship anymore. It's just that I'm only one person.
You're bouncing so many different relationships right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, especially, and I think for anyone that, you know, gets in a relationship and comes with those troubles, it's like we're saying, you have to find the people that understand, but it's not that you're prioritizing that relationship. It on purpose, in a sense. I don't know. I guess in a way, yes, you are, but it's like you see something going with this you see yourself going somewhere with this person. So it's like you want to put more time into that.
Yeah.
But that's whenever, like I said, it's that balance of you having to find those friends that understand this is important to her right now. So I need to respect that.
Yeah.
You know, like just bringing up like relationship you did just then. Cause that was another thing. I don't know about you, Megan, with like Noah, but I just felt like that in the beginning of mine and Ryland's relationship, that it was very hard balancing Ryland and then like friends.
Yeah.
And my friends specifically, cause it just became a point where like his friends became my friends.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, don't you know what I mean? A lot of people do that, and that's how people grow. Like, again, the seasons, all that. But
yeah,
it was very hard on me in the beginning because I mentally, like, I felt like, I guess I wasn't mature enough to know what I know now, because that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I almost felt like, do my friends hate me?
Oh.
Do they think all these things? And it's like, now I know, it's like, no, like, they understood for the most part, and those that didn't, well...
Yeah, like when Noah and I got together, we were so young. We were in high school, and I definitely was like obsessed with Noah, like that. Like you're just like nothing else matters at that moment but like your boyfriend or your girlfriend. I think that's a part of age and immaturity, but there definitely became a point where I was like, okay, my whole life isn't Noah, and like your whole life isn't me, and so like we do need to tend to like the relationships outside of this relationship. But that's just been like a balance, and it's like something we've kind of learned growing up. But just like real quickly, I was just gonna say, like, I've been so blessed to have like people in my life like you guys and a couple other friends from high school and from college, and I just think like the real testament of a friendship is like when they, I think Deanna, you touched on this, like when they are there for you at your lowest points. Like I know with you guys, like I have, like last year at this time, I was like so stress ridden. I was like depressed. I had so much anxiety, and like you guys never pressured me or made me feel guilty that we weren't seeing each other, or there was no like, where are you? Like you gave me the space without being too far away. And I just think like that's so important. I don't think a lot of people talk about that enough with friendships, is that like when you're friends with someone, you do really get to know them at their lowest point. And so I just want to say thanks to you guys, but also it's important to talk about, you know?
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, I think that there are a lot of qualities that make a good friend, and I think that it's important that you as a person be the friend that you need. If you see that your friend is going through a hard time, obviously like reach out to them, but don't like, if they're not ready to talk about it, don't force them to talk about it, because that's not being a good friend. It's like doing what they need in order to overcome an obstacle, in order to grow as a person as well. I just think that it's like really, I don't know, detrimental to a lasting friendship.
You have to be selfless, and I think in friendships it's a 50-50 thing. You can't expect, you know, you can try doing the 75%, 100%, but it's like if you do that every time, like Megan, tell me if I'm wrong from like a therapist point of view, but it's like mentally it's gonna take a toll on you. Because I mean, if you think about it, that's self-esteem, that's self-confidence. Like if no one's reaching out to you, I don't know, I think it's gonna impact someone after a while, and it becomes exhausting.
I think as a society, at least, I think we place a lot of emphasis on our partners and finding a sexual loving relationship, and we kind of undervalue friendships, but friendships take just as much work, if not more, because when you're with a partner, you're living with them. Like, I can see Noah right now run upstairs and tell him something. I can't go and see you guys very quickly, so I have to make the effort to put in the time for friendships, and I definitely think there needs to be a healthy balance of both, because I mean, not to be like cynical, but like relationships can come and go just like friendships. So you need people in your life if a relationship does fail. Vice versa, like friends fail, then you need your partner. You know. I don't know. That's kind of my banter.
Really quick, I did just want to touch on like red flags in friendships, and then how to get over a friendship breakup, because that was the second part of the topic that was sent to us.
So question though, with the breakup, that is clearly like there was a fight, like you guys angry.
I would say
gone.
Yeah,
right?
I would.
Or
right?
Okay.
Because if like a friendship just naturally
fades out. Okay, that's why I was just curious. Okay.
Number one red flag is they do not want to see you do well, or they get jealous of your success and they don't support you and your endeavors.
I would also say like a lack of, I think the word is reciprocity. I think that's the word, where it's like you're doing all the work and they're not returning any. They only want to hang out with you when you're partying. They only want to hang out with you when you're in a good place. Like if they're not loyal to you, they're, I don't know, they're not a good friend.
No, I get what you're saying. It's like when it benefits them.
Yes.
If it's something that, whether it's doing something or getting something, whatever it may be, but that's not healthy. No, I totally agree with those. I think for myself though, if you are starting to change yourself and who you are,
great,
it's not worth it. If you are being
like trying to fit in,
if you're trying to fit in, if you're, you know, if especially if family or people super even more close to you than that particular person is starting to notice changes that isn't typically you, and aren't necessarily healthy changes. Like I think that's a huge red flag. Like I don't think it's worth it.
I think another one is when you have conversations and they only talk about themselves and they never check in on you. Those are always fun times, because you're just like, cool, okay, you all right?
Now about myself, can you check how I am?
I also think another important one is like if there's an argument or a fight and they can never like see like what they did wrong, or they can never like say I'm sorry. Like if it's always just you did this, like I like, come on, let's have some self accountability. Like what was the role that I played in it, you know?
Sure. Oh goodness, we're going around. Let me think now. Another red flag. It's funny because I'm just trying to go back to like friendships over like high school and all that. I'm like, why did I stop being friends with you?
Lack of respect.
Lack of respect. I think it kind of goes back to, we were talking about what makes a good friendship, that it's like again, I'm learning all this now that it's like if we don't have a lot of the same values, I just think it's going to be very hard to meet that 50-50.
I think that those are like really good starter red flags. Before we end really quick, should we get into how to get over a friendship breakup? Because I personally think that like friendship breakups can be just as hard as like a loss or like
I've spent many a days bawling my eyes out.
that was my number one, was to like let yourself feel the pain.
Yeah.
Like let yourself grieve the loss of that relationship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like a weird thing. You just kind of get over it in time. Like there's not really like a recipe for getting over loss.
And I feel like personally, I think friendship breakups took a lot longer to get over than like a boy breakup for me or a guy I was talking to. Like I'm thinking I had a really good friend in high school. I mean, things are better now. Like it again, I think it I
Takes
know I
time.
keep bringing it up, but it takes times and it's the seasons. Okay, I swear by your saying. Okay, I mean, you guys know the story. I haven't had an insanely close best friend from like beginning of middle school all the way to high school, and we had a huge falling out. I'm gonna cry. It was very emotional. Like it was so hard because I didn't think I was gonna be doing certain things without her.
Yeah.
And especially whenever it's like you're graduating high school.
I know.
Like we're gonna be grown-ups. We talked about so many things. I mean, we would joke about getting pregnant at the same time and having our weddings at the same time. You know what I mean? Stupid things like that. So it was very hard not having her. And in a way, I think it did help me grow though. Because I think, and you know, now looking back, I used her as a little crutch and I didn't even realize it. Mm-hmm. You know, like I think that was a huge thing going on. But like it took, I mean, I think a good 6 months. Like it probably took me going to college and finding new friends. Like it kind of helped that grieving part of it. But it sucks. I think it could be worse than like a boy breakup or girl breakup, like any breakup.
Yeah, I think they're.
You know what I mean?
Especially when it's like your very best friend.
Yeah.
Because there's this one thing to lose just like a friend, but like your
like
best
it's like a
friend
family member.
Yeah. It's like and that's
it's
how
like
it
you
was.
go
Go from talking to this person like every single day, multiple times a day, yada yada yada, to all of a sudden like silence. Like that hurts. And so I think that in order to get over it, like you need to acknowledge the hurt, but also like I think it's important to want to get to a place where you don't wish like anything bad happens to that person. Like you want that person to succeed in life, you want them to have a good life, but you realize that like I just won't be a part of that necessarily. Yeah. Who knows? Now you may come back together in the future. You may just need space, as I said in the beginning.
Space heals wounds. It really does.
Yeah. Well, in my case with my friend, like we ended up talking a year and a half later and almost cleared the air and kind of talked through it. But it took that time to grow us separately as people and then just reevaluate the situation. Are things 100% now? No. But I mean, I think that just goes with the territory of like going through a friend breakup. Yeah. That it won't necessarily be the same, but just for this particular friendship, you know? But it's not like we're on bad terms. Like,
exactly.
We're just on our own little paths.
Yeah, I think just to wrap that up is just give yourself time and space to heal. And eventually you'll come to a place of like content. Because you're never going to be happy. And you're never going to be, like, fully as sad as you were. You're just going to be in a place of, well, this is what it is.
I hope that when you go through a friendship breakup, that, like, you get to a place where you remember the good times and you're appreciative, but, like, you also remember the bad times. And this is so important, you are appreciative of the bad times because they hopefully helped you to grow as a person. And that's it. I hope that you guys, like, understood all the things that we said. I hope that like this advice helped you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
I really hope it did, you guys. Sorry I got emotional.
Oh, good.
I'm a hot mess.
No, it's all good.
All right. Well, guys, this is the end of the episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review, and share a podcast with your closest friends. You can follow me on social media at Gabby Colazzo, and then you can follow the podcast at Sippin' Through Life.
And you can follow me on Instagram at Life of Diani.
Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next week.
Till next time, sippers.
Bye.
See ya.